Today, we're going to break down some surprising statistics about car accidents here in Nashville. Why is Nashville almost 20 times more dangerous than other cities? All right, let's break down some statistics. So there are 72 crashes in Nashville every day. That's an accident every 20 minutes. The estimated financial burden of all that is $543.6 million every year. So through September 2025, there are over 21,000 crashes and 73 fatalities. The 5-year trend is troubling because it had been trending down. You can see from 2021 to 2022, but from 2023 to 2024, we actually saw an increase in traffic accidents. Nashville ranks 107th in safety among U.S. cities. Safety ranking is frankly unacceptable for a city of our size, and especially a city that is trying to attract tourism, trying to build its infrastructure. So way behind our peers when it comes to that statistic. Of course, the cost of inaction and the tragedies, and again, not just the economic burden, but 73 fatalities, that's a lot of lives lost here in Nashville, many of which could have been prevented. What are the most dangerous roads in Nashville? For starters, I-40 is Tennessee's deadliest highway. It's got heavy commercial traffic, high speeds, and congestion, creating a lot of opportunities, unfortunately, for traffic accidents. Not far behind is I-24, over 200 collisions. I-65 is the main commercial corridor, primary north-south route. Again, a mixture of enormous trucks, passenger traffic, a lot of congestion, a lot of opportunities, unfortunately, for accidents. Moving off of the interstate system, though, the most dangerous road in Nashville is Nolensville Pike. 18 deaths since 2014. 40% of these involve pedestrians. Not far behind, Murfreesboro Pike. Murfreesboro Pike accounts for 25% of all fatal pedestrian crashes in the city of Nashville. 1 in 4 pedestrian deaths are on Murfreesboro Pike. So if you find yourself on foot in that area, be extremely careful. Similarly, Dickerson Pike and Ewing Drive, there have been 13 deaths since 2018, an intersection that has become synonymous with danger. 13 lives lost in just 7 years. So if you walk in that area, be careful. What is the most dangerous time of day when it comes to traffic accidents in the city of Nashville? Well, not surprisingly, evening rush hour from 4 p.m. to about 8 p.m. accounts for nearly 21% of all crashes. Combination of commuter fatigue, aggressive driving, and heavy traffic lead to these outcomes. Saturday is the deadliest day, the weekend peak. Fatal crashes reach their highest frequency on Saturdays in Nashville, likely due to increased recreational travel, impaired driving, and less predictable traffic patterns compared to weekdays. Despite Saturday's fatality rate, weekdays are actually 12% more dangerous overall, simply due to higher traffic volumes. So if you understand these patterns, you can kind of plan. If you're out on the road, for example, during rush hour, know that's a dangerous time. If you're out on the road on Saturday, know that's a dangerous time. But then, of course, just always keep your guard up every day of the week. What are the most vulnerable populations when it comes to traffic accidents here in Nashville? Well, not surprisingly, perhaps teen drivers, right? Teen driver fatalities surged from 7 to 14 in 2025. That's a 100% increase. Obviously, inexperience, but also distraction. Our last video talked about distracted driving and how teens are actually some of the worst offenders when it comes to this. But of course, senior drivers are also at risk. Senior driver fatalities increased from 6 to 11 in 2025. So age-related vision issues, reaction time challenges are a factor here. And then, of course, pedestrians, right? 33 deaths in 2024. That's actually down. Pedestrian deaths are down from 2023, but it's still tragically high. And I have a whole video on a specific intersection that is notoriously dangerous for pedestrians. And as you can see from the stats we've just discussed, there are specific streets that we just know are more dangerous for pedestrians than others. So what are the 4 primary factors that contribute to traffic accidents here in Nashville? Well, distracted driving is probably the biggest one. 20,000 crashes statewide in 2023 were linked to distracted driving. Excessive speeding, right? Davidson County ranks 3rd statewide for speed-related crashes. Actually, I'm surprised that it's not number 1 or 2, behind Memphis maybe. Impaired driving. Nashville is the 4th deadliest U.S. city for drunk driving in the entire country. So despite decades of awareness campaigns, impaired driving continues to devastate families. So do not drink and drive. Do not ride with someone who's been drinking and driving. And then, of course, infrastructure deficiencies. Just 6% of Nashville streets account for 60% of fatal and serious crashes. That tells you that the problem is knowable. We know the streets, I've discussed them, that are dangerous. We know where the accidents are going to happen, where people are going to die. And for the city to not make improvements is unconscionable. So digging deeper, 6% of the streets in Nashville account for 60% of traffic accidents, pedestrian fatalities. So what we need to do as a city, this is now editorializing, identify these high-risk corridors, implement proven solutions, deploy real-time crash monitoring, make improvements, change the infrastructure, save lives. So again, every 20 minutes, there is another crash in the city of Nashville, but evidence-based solutions do exist to prevent this problem. The most obvious one is targeted infrastructure improvements. Pedestrian-focused redesign is a big one. There are corridors, Nolensville Pike and Murfreesboro Pike stand out as obvious examples that need some beefed up pedestrian warning signals, warning awareness campaigns, enforcement to make those areas safer for pedestrians. So if you found this video useful, I will link to a free guide if you've been in a car accident, everything you need to know, and check out this next video on statewide statistics on traffic accidents throughout Tennessee. Thanks for watching.